Hello everybody, welcome to this brand new episode of the SubPar Poddy C officially.
Unofficially, I said it.
You nailed it, well done.
Good, yes.
The best podcast on the internet. No silly voices today, okay? Alright? None of that silly bullshit. Yeah, sorry, mate. Well, we are joined by the main man, the YouTube savant, the mastermind, and to be honest, just quite a good friend of ours, SunlessKhan. Hello, mate.
Oh, that was so heartwarming at the end. You really brought it home. It started off so grand, and oh my God, it came back.
Are you not a YouTube savant?
Savant. I'll accept that. I'll take that.
Well, I messaged Cole yesterday because I wrote the tweet saying that obviously we had you on, and I was wondering if I could use the word savant like to be a compliment and not just sort of like as a diagnosis.
It is.
Yeah, you really
I googled it and it was only about the diagnosis. But I think you're a savant. Would you say that's fair?
No, I mean
okay.
I'll try to be humble.
I think you're an artistic savant.
Thank you. Wouldn't that be like a savant is like someone that sees the future, right?
No.
Is it
You're
not?
a clairvoyant.
Something else. Yeah.
Yeah,
a savant
but I thought savant was also that.
A savant.
It's like somebody who normally has got autism but is super good at one thing. Like a mathematical savant, and they just see the fucking numbers. Yes. Or they sit down and they play the piano and they just improvise like the most beautiful piece of music you've ever heard. Or they sit down and they edit a YouTube video and it just does really well because it's really well made. It's about Rocket League.
I actually wish that
I think
was
you
me.
fit in.
No,
you actually stand up and edit. You don't ever sit down. It's crazy.
I'm all over the place.
So we are going to be looking at the year of Rocket League and awarding some awards, as it were. But before we get into looking at them, because we've got quite a few categories, because Jesus Christ, a lot has happened in Rocket League so far in the year, in the competitive scene, in the not competitive scene. Guys, stop fucking about in the Google Doc.
I wasn't fucking about, sorry. Under the general stuff
cool.
thing, which is what we open with, I put Patreon lol. Which is fair, because we always thank our lovely patrons at the beginning because they support us. Patreon.com/subpar in HD for only $1 a month. You can hear these podcasts a little bit early. You can just support us in general. But no, I was just writing Patreon lol, which I think is fair. And then SunlessKhan, the first guest to ever dare alter our Google Doc.
No one's ever done it.
Wrote the word sellout.
Wow.
I know. Nobody has fucked with it.
It's a rite of passage to be called a sellout. You know that, right? It means you've made it.
Yeah.
You know how when there's a warning sign, it means that someone's done it at some point. So, warning, don't swallow the plutonium, means that at some point, somebody tried to swallow the plutonium. From now on, we're going to have to make it so that somebody's going to have to share the Google Drive with me through my email address.
It's too tempting.
And then we'll make a public link, and we'll make it read-only, and everyone will know that someone was dumb enough to write on their Google Drive, and it was you, Sunless.
It's so tempting.
You swallowed the plutonium.
Power. I love messing with Google Docs.
I can't believe you.
I love Google Docs.
Well, right. Well, I was going to ask you, Sunless, how you are, but I don't actually give a shit anymore. I was going to look back at because a lot of people ask, how do you know so many pros? Like, as in, like, how do we get so many people on our podcast to like talk to us? And actually, it's just because we're friends with quite a lot of people. And I remember the first time we met you, the first time I met you at least, was in London. At London for RLCS.
I actually have our selfie on the phone, on my phone of that.
Is it your wallpaper?
An old phone, but it's still in my Google Photos. My wallpaper.
Is it not?
No, sorry. It's the Grand Canyon or some shit.
Fuck the Grand Canyon. All right. But then we ended up going to Las Vegas together, not even for RLCS. Obviously, we saw you there, but it wasn't even for RLCS. It was just to work with a company called Grass Valley. And we basically hung about in Vegas for like 5 days just sort of fucking around.
Yeah, every time I tell someone that, it's just so hard to explain. I'm like, well, there was this Grass Valley. It was an and I just don't even try. I'm just like, I played Rocket League. I hung out with them. That's how I know them really well.
The way I try and describe it is, you know when you go through one of those massive conventions for anything, be it artists or tech or anything like that, right? They always have screens that are in like 8K and they show montages of like rippling water and, I don't know, people throwing flowers or whatever in slow motion. We were a real-life equivalent of that television. We were putting on a live show for the people walking by to try and bring them over. We wouldn't talk to the people. We'd leave that to the Grass Valley people.
Yeah,
literally there as mannequins.
They tried to talk to us.
Yeah, whenever we got asked a question by a member of like the public or somebody who'd been like bought a ticket to be there, we would just sort of look awkwardly and try and find somebody who knew what the fuck was going on, because like they were selling all the production stuff. So it's like your desks and your there was that robotic mic arm, and then so robotic camera arm rather, and obviously all the screens, and it was crazy. But yeah, no, we had a good time in Vegas. Took the monorail. Do you remember the monorail?
Yes,
I do.
You guys
I've still got my
awesome.
monorail ticket on that board
really?
behind me. Yeah,
He's pointing at his board for the benefit of the audience.
I've got a board behind me. And
Yeah,
I've got
it was
a
kind
monorail
of sick.
ticket
I
up
remember
there.
it.
That's cute. It was a very nice trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, for anybody
was.
wondering how the fuck we know SunlessKhan, that's how the fuck we know SunlessKhan.
Yeah, it was a great time.
I want to ask you, Sunless. So, as well as us sort of playing Rocket League live, basically we were putting on a mock esports performance because these guys are trying to showcase that their cameras and stuff could be used for esports. And Sunless was naturally the guest of honor. And whenever we took a break, what did they do, Sunless, with your YouTube videos? Can you remember?
Oh my god! Yeah, they like blasted our YouTube videos through the. Why did they do that? Oh my
It was
god!
brilliant.
They blared them out.
Cringy.
It was
So
like
we watched,
3
like-
videos that we watched on
Yeah,
repeat
just-
for about
yeah.
5 days.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, they only picked like 3, and they looped them.
Every time it came on, you were like, "Oh no!"
My
oh,
voice,
no.
just my face. Ugh.
It's so funny. But then
They were old too.
I felt really bad for the woman who was hosting. If anybody watches CSGO and you know Face It, it's Freya Spears, their desk host, in interviews and stuff before. She was with us there as well, and I felt so bad for her because she had to repeat the exact same like intro. It must have been about 6 times a day for 5 days, and it was like, but what is esports? Well, esports is competitive gaming, and it was just that. It was like she never mixed it up. She was like, I can't be bothered. Like, it's just so much effort to think of a new way to explain what the fuck esports is. But I felt bad for her.
She was a pro. She had it down to a science.
Yeah, she was very good.
She's done well since then as well. We've all
business.
done well from that beautiful day.
Yeah.
So you especially, Mr. SunlessKhan. I mean, your YouTube over the course of 2 years, 3 years now has just grown pretty much year on year, right? Day by day. It shows no signs of stopping as of right now.
Yeah. It's had dips and valleys, dips and
valleys. Jesus
mountains.
Christ.
Yeah. There's the dips and then there's the valley. You don't need to
I see you're a glass half empty kind of guy.
we don't talk about the valleys.
There's just midlines, dips, and valleys. No. There are ups and downs for sure, but I mean, steadily, growing. But in the moment, it always like, okay, it's down, now it's up, now it's down. It's kind of a roller coaster, but steadily, yeah.
So obviously we've reached the end of 2019. Right now we're right at the start of 2020, recording the first few days. And do you remember how many subscribers your channel started on and ended 2019? Have you got that information in your brain?
I
don't have it
but I
for you, by
remember
the way.
I went full time in 2019, so it's
Okay.
been a year since I've been like a full time YouTuber. So I was
Okay.
doing, it was always a hobby up until then, or it was, even if it wasn't a hobby, it was definitely a side thing. So I think I had like 150.
Well, at the start of the year.
That's just a guess. Maybe it was 200. I don't know. I don't actually know. I have no idea.
You're on 400 and where's it gone? 456,000 now, which is pretty gigantic. I probably should have looked at what you were at the start of the year.
I've got it. So
What
start
is
of the
it?
year, you were on 212,000 and
okay.
72 subscribers
Okay.
as of January 1st, 2019. I'm looking at your
Okay.
trend, and you lied to us, you fucker, because you said there were, what was it? Dips and valleys, I believe is the phrase you used.
Yeah, dips and valleys was the phrase.
The graph is pretty much a solid, not quite 45 degrees, but from this start of this year to the end of this year, it is a very solid, should we say?
Oh
30
no, I
degrees?
see a plateau, but the plateau is gaining 3,000 subscribers, so it's not too much of a plateau.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had a rough April 7th to April 15th. I can see that was a tough week for you.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That was one of the valleys, was it?
I'm sure you remember it well.
It was one of the valleys.
That was a valley, not a dip. Yeah.
But then obviously you ended up being picked up by Space Station, not for your Rocket League prowess, unfortunately, but instead for your content creation prowess.
Yeah.
And right now you're rocking a little bit of that Space Station merch as well, a little bit of that,
Oh, yeah,
little bit of
I
that
get
gear. Look at it, you're flexing it. What's happening with that? So how do you work with Space Station? What's your role with them?
So I mean, the role is just content creator for Space Station. So it's pretty open. There's not like this. Actually, I do have a technical list of stuff I'm supposed to do, just for the contract, and it's like, be yourself. It's very. Like,
That's so inspirational.
it's not actually be yourself.
Oh right.
Smile every day.
It's all about just engagement and streaming a certain amount, and not just like going into a hole. But it's very easy for me because it's stuff that I would naturally do as part of a team of any sort. So it's my actual purpose is to grow the Rocket League community for Space Station.
So is that something you've wanted to do for a while? Like to get involved with an org to then make content for them, or was it just
You
sort of
were of
blue?
Allegiance before, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on Allegiance, and that was almost the exact same thing, just at a smaller scale because Allegiance was smaller and I was smaller at the time. Because that was like a year and a half. That was before I was full time. Was the Allegiance thing? But anyway, no, I wasn't looking for it at all. I was pretty sure I was not going to join an org anytime soon. So that just speaks to what Space Station was able to do in their conversations with me. Like it was all I loved everything about them. Just as soon as I talked to the owner, like it was very.
I mean, their content
natural.
on Twitter is like just fantastic. That's one of our awards later is all content, and it is some of the best. Like just their sort of dumb bullshit videos that they post, and it's like I don't know why you've made it, but I'm so happy that you did.
Yes. Yeah. So they're totally different than any org I've talked to. So it was a pretty easy choice once. The owner is Sean Doris, or one of the owners. It's co-owned with. Well, I don't know too much about the actual roots. I guess as I get to know them, the funny thing is like, Sean signed me, but we've only known each other for a couple months. So it's kind of a thing where I'm getting to know them and becoming part of the team more and stuff. Oh yeah, well Tanner Fox is the other YouTuber that's involved in Space Station as well. It's a vlogger, and Sean in his own right is a huge vlogger. And he has a family channel as well that is just booming.
So do
that's
you
cool.
have any sort of communication with either the players or any of the other content creators within Space Station, or are you sort of an endpoint? The Space Station people come to you and they'll chat with you, but other than that, it's sort of separate.
No, I'm in the group. There's like a massive Twitter DM where we're all in there. And yeah, there's definitely, we all follow each other, and there's definitely collaboration. I get to work with, the graphic designers if I need stuff, or they have a couple content creators themselves, the guys that make the Twitter videos and stuff. And Sean is a very approachable, as far as CEOs of orgs go. I would say he's the most approachable. So
we actually met him in Vegas when we were there.
Yeah, we did.
Because he came up, Cole, I don't know if you remember, I spoke to Sunless about this in Madrid. And he came up to us, because he was wearing a Space Station like jumper or something.
Yeah.
And then he came up, and he was like chatting away, and he was talking to people. And then I remember, because I was sitting on one side of like the mini stage with Doomsday, and then you and Sunless were next to each other. And I was chatting to Doomsday, and then I turned around, and you looked at me, and you went, "Come here." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you want?" And you just went, "Come here." I was like, "Oh, fine." So I wheeled the chair over, and you're like, "Yeah, this is Sean Duras. He owns Space Station Gaming." Because I thought it was just some dude in like some of their merch.
Yeah.
He looked like just he looked like the nicest guy.
Assistant.
Yeah.
You'd be an awful shop assistant, Stumpy.
What do you mean? How dare
As
you?
in, like, there'd be like millionaires coming in plain clothes, and you'd sort of look down and be like, "Oh, I don't want to talk to your sort."
No.
And they'd be like, "Right, I'll walk away."
No, that's obviously not what I
with
meant.
their American Express gold card safely tucked away in their pockets.
Well, yeah, if I was in a Ferrari garage, I would have kicked Sean Duras out of there. Like, if you're going to come buy my Ferraris, you're going to dress the fucking part. Do you know what I mean? SunlessKhan is my Ferrari, and I'm upset that he managed to buy him. That's all I'm saying, all right? All right.
But it seems like it's been an amazing thing for you, just like completely positive in every way, right?
Yeah, it's been great so far. I mean, it's really just starting, so I'm kind of in a like, oh, I can't wait to see where this goes and what I'm gonna do, because the idea list is long, and the things they want to do is from what I've heard is pretty exciting. So yeah,
interesting.
Cool.
So more to come on the Space Station front. Sunless, before we get on to the awards, I think that we need to sort of ask plenty of questions about your YouTube. People listening to this will be very interested in your process, in how many ideas you have at any one time, stuff like that. So I've got a question on the top of my head.
Okay.
Do you have, off the cuff, a favourite video that you've ever made?
Someone just asked me that, which is good because at the time I was like, I have no idea, and I had to think about it for like 10
timed that
minutes.
well.
But I think it was actually the story video on Justin's goal. I think is my favorite one.
That's a very, very good one.
Just because it mixed together like there's certain types of videos that I do. They're all kind of in different categories, and that one kind of mixed a couple categories. And it was the first time I'd done something like that. And I remember like putting it out and not even thinking it was that great. Like I didn't, whatever. It was just another video, but then the response it got made me like. I do this sometimes. If it gets a really great response, I'll like watch the video again with like new eyes and be like, oh, this actually is good. Good job, me.
You're there just patting yourself on the back. Well done.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Most of the time I won't watch it again. It takes like a community reaction. There's just only a couple videos do this where I get like more than just, a couple comments. It's like I get some community feedback, like some people in my Twitter DMs like actually I didn't even post it to Twitter, they're like coming to me and saying that they enjoyed it and
seeking
then
you
like,
out.
Did that one come
that
before the
good.
squishy one then?
Yeah, that was the first of that type of video where I actually remember the other thing. The reason I like it so much is because I remember the self-doubt. I remember like, is this too boring? Like this is a 12-minute video. And at the beginning, the whole front of it is just like the background. It's like 6 minutes of like, here's why this is important. But
that's what makes it good though, right? That's like, you need the build up to like appreciate why it was such an amazing moment. Like obviously they didn't end up winning, unfortunately, but it was an amazing moment in its own right.
Like I could have made it like 20 minutes. Like it's very skimmed through. So now I look back, I'm like, well, that's.
I mean, it could have easily been like an hour, realistically. Like if you wanted to put everything in, but
if you want to show Justin's conception, that would take that.
Yeah,
we
sure.
Justin's dad's pretty cool. Yeah,
we go way back. It's like in his house, like it's Justin Morales was born in whatever.
And you then hear Justin just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you in my house? You're like, I have to run out with your camera.
Mom, he's reading through our garbage again. Get him out.
Is there any video that you've made and you've thought that I think that deserved a little bit more of a response, where you've thought this is fucking brilliant, and then it comes out and it's like sort of a middling video. You're like, I really thought that was one of my best ones.
Yeah, all the time actually. But the one that sticks out the most in my mind is I did a real life Rocket League movie trailer. Okay. And I did some after it came. Like this was a while ago. This was like a year and a half ago, or maybe even 2 years ago. So I think if I did it now, it would get a way better reaction. But still, I did some examination after the fact. So like I said before, when I have a video that I think is okay and then it gets a great reaction, I watch it again. I'm like, this is really good. The opposite is also true. If I have a video that I think is good and it just flops terribly, I watch it again. I go, this is utter shit. No wonder no one likes it.
Do you just watch all of your videos twice? Like, is that what this is? Either it's a massive success or it's just a bit shit, and you're like, you know what, fair play.
No middle ground.
No, there's so many. No, like 80% of the middle ones.
Only dips and valleys.
So the only ones I watch are the utter shit ones and the good ones. Everything else I just put up there and never think about again.
So these sorts of videos then, the ones, the Justin Overtimes, I'm presuming the squishy one as well. My personal favorite, and I said this to you in Madrid as well, the Rocket League stereotypes. I adore that video because I'm
Cole
a writer.
Was gushing about that video for
let me tell you why. Because I'm a writer, right? I write words. I think in text and prose, right? And it can be such a bad habit to get into where everything has to be a voiceover. Because when I was watching that, I remember thinking, if I'd had this idea, it would be, hello and welcome to 5 Rocket League stereotypes that are bad to have. Stereotype 1 is this. And you've just, instead of that, you've shown a picture and like one person going, okay. And that's the exact same thing. And I was like, of course that's the same thing. I've got to think in that sort of way.
That's so funny because I had that same struggle. Like I want to make everything. There's a huge balance on my channel of making everything narrative or just showing. And actually, the last video I just posted, I almost did that. Because when the stuff on the screen is too confusing or it doesn't really make sense when I'm trying to edit it, then I default to the narration. I'm like, well, it wasn't going very well. Here's what happened. This happened. This happened. This happened. And I'm kind of learning to just show it instead of telling it. But it is hard.
It's like the whole thing that you learn at school, but I guess it's kind of, I don't write, but I guess like one of those lost things where it's show, don't tell. If you can say with somebody's actions, like, oh, they're feeling sad or whatever, you then don't need to write the words, Marie felt
But
sad.
it can be harder because you have to. Then it's reliant on the performance. Like then it's reliant. But if with really really great editing, you can shape anything. Like if you're a phenomenal editor, you can shape actions into whatever you want to say. Shape anything on the screen. Rocket League, it doesn't matter. Like it's most true in movies or like performances, or that's where this theory is coming from. Like as far as the power of editing, but it's really true for anything.
Mm-hmm.
God, I want that on an inspirational like poster or something. You can shape anything.
You can with editing.
Whoa.
You can tell any story you want. And with music, that's the other thing. People don't realize how important music is. It's crazy. It's not fair. It's cheating.
How long does it take you to decide when you're scrolling through endless like Sad Symphony number 1, Sad Symphony number 2? Are you one of those people who will take you 4 hours and then eventually, suddenly you'll hear it and it's like, this is what I've been waiting for?
It can take a while. Yeah, it can take a while. Thankfully, I have a really good music library that a lot of people use these days. It's Epidemic Sound.
Yeah, we've got that as well.
Yeah, it's the best one. So it takes a little less time than it used to, but it's still, But I enjoy that process. So thankfully... for me,
that's very handy.
It's a good break from like I'll be editing and I'll be halfway through a project and then sometimes I'll look at the music first, but if it's to the point where the edit's getting boring, then I can just be like, I'll look for music for an hour. So it's fine.
I guess it's something that needs to get done at some point anyway.
Yeah, it's like a little thing you just have to do.
So we're getting into back into YouTube again at the moment. I say again, we've tried it about 78 different times.
This is the one.
I'm trying to when I think of an idea, I'm trying to trust the people around me a lot. So as well as Stumpy and Dooms that's editing for us at the moment, that also includes our community. So there's a few trusted people that I'll say to them, oh guys, if I'm talking about this thing, can you think of something that a caster may have said that fits it perfectly? So instead of me saying the casters were amazed, I can use that, that classic B-roll quote, which might be stuck in someone's mind, and they'll use that. When you're creating, do you keep everything internalized? Are you one of those people that doesn't want anyone to see the video until it's done, it's perfect? Or are there people that you bounce ideas off or even share work in progress stuff with?
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. It's all very personal and internalized for me. But I'm working on. I mean, as I told you guys before the podcast started, I do have an editor that I'm collaborating with or I'm about to start at a higher level than before. As far as I did have some help before, occasionally on some videos. Like I hire out sort of like a freelance basis editor. But now I'm working into more of that. So with that relationship, it'll be probably more collaboration than before. But no, up until now, it's pretty much. I don't know. It's funny because I really a lot of my favorite videos have been through collaboration, but it's always before the fact, like the inspiration or the idea or unintentional, sort of like it's through a conversation or sort of a natural.
It comes up in a chat, and then it's like that could be a video.
Yes, exactly. So that's definitely true. But I don't know what it is, but for some reason my YouTube is very like, it's definitely like my baby.
I see it. Yeah.
I mean, that must be hard then, like handing off a bit of control nowadays, at least to an editor, instead of you sort of saying, okay, this is how I'm going to do the video. Obviously, you only went full time in 2019, so handing off that control of your baby, it's like giving it to like the babysitter for the first time. You're like, okay, but you know it needs to eat and sleep, right? And they're like, yeah, I'm a babysitter. Like, I know what to do with the baby. What the yes, obviously.
Exactly.
Like, have you had that struggle yet?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's about doing the work to make sure that collaboration is like seamless and stuff. That's what I've been putting off because it takes work to collaborate properly, I think. Making sure.
Yeah. I guess like to make it worthwhile, right? Not just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So that takes work, but I'm ready to do that work now. So.
Okay, right. Well, on to the awards, I reckon. We got quite a few to get through. They're ones that I've just sort of put on there. So guys, if you think of any others that I might have forgotten about for some of these categories, go ahead, we can discuss them. See who I think we should all agree, like a jury, for the Rocket League Awards 2019. We are the jury that will decide who gets each award.
Judge, jury, executioner.
Perfect.
Yeah, they don't win anything for winning, apart from probably a tweet, I imagine, at some point.
Hopefully they'll retweet us.
Oh, that'd be nice. We're
Yeah.
gonna at
Yeah.
everybody. We got.
We're gonna do one of those block at things.
Yeah,
Everyone loves those.
That'll work.
God, and
That'll
then
work.
one person replies to like one of them, and it starts like a thread, and it's just the worst thing ever. Okay, well, our first category that I want to look at is personality. Oh, hang on. Personality of the year.
Nice.
Our entries are. Go on, Carl, you can do this.
CJ. Ah, what a bunch of wankers you are.
Nice. Sunless?
Speed. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I
Speak
wanted
your
to go
Wait,
back and
am
forth.
I involved in this?
Are we doing one each?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't explain the rules at all. I reckon.
Not at all.
Yeah, not whatsoever. So I reckon I'll do the title of the award, and then Cole will say the first name, and then Sunless is the second. Then you alternate.
Okay.
You've got to do it in their voice.
Yeah, in their voice. Okay,
Oh,
so
hell no.
all right. Oh, we've locked it in now, Sunless. We don't make the rules. All right. Personality of the year.
CJ.
Speed.
That wasn't his voice.
It's like he's here with us.
Speed. It was like a.
Perfect.
It was like
He's
your
British. He's
American
bloody
Express.
British, wasn't it? Yeah, it was good. Rattles.
And Turbo Pulsa.
I think that's pretty a pretty strong few for personality. Have I missed out any in your guys' minds at all?
No, that's pretty good.
Not that I can think of. Not
Hard
of
to
the
choose.
sort of outspoken ones on Twitter. Those guys are certainly up there for
Yeah.
sure. Also positive personalities as well. They are
Yeah.
4 good guys for our scene.
Yeah. For me personally, out of those 4, so that's CJ, Speed, Rettles, and Turbo. For me, personality of the year should go to somebody who has been a good ambassador for the esport as well, or like for the pro scene or for the game, something like that, where it might be somebody's first introduction to looking at or watching or hearing about Rocket League, and they have made a positive impact on that. For me, that person is CJ, because he's done obviously the viewing parties, which have been incredible when they've like properly popped off, like 1,000+ viewers for him. He's obviously representing the OCE scene. He's a lovely guy. He's always been really good, like when he's been on stage with his personality as well, and he's like done walkouts or rollouts or whatever he decides to do on the day. So for me, out of those 4, my vote goes towards CJ.
For me, I'm going to go for a slightly different track because I love all 4 names on this list. But I'm going to go with someone that I think has brought something new to the scene, something that's been lacking. And that name is Rettles, because it's a really tough role to play that he plays. Being the bad guy, but doing it in a way where you're not a genuine dickhead and you're not annoying to people. I don't think I could do that role. You know, that is a very specific role that Rettles does so well. And the way he does it so well is that he reads the room, and he can also take it as well as he gives it. Like, I remember when Vitality, I think it was, were smashing Pittsburgh Knights. They're about to beat them 4-2.
Yeah.
They're about to go out. We're chanting, NA is bad again, right?
Yeah.
And I remember Rettles looking at me because he knew where we were sitting, you and me. And he looked at me and he gave me like a little thumbs up. As in, keep up the good work. I love this. This is exactly what we need. And I just thought, yes, Rettles, I will keep going. NA is bad again. So yeah, he's
what a
got
man.
it. I think that's fantastic. And standing up and having a go at them and all that is
Yeah.
brilliant.
Then he came over and gave us a hug afterwards, I think, didn't he? That was after that series.
Yes, but you didn't buy him an orange
I didn't. Blue.
Slurpee or whatever. Blue Slurpee.
Yeah. Yeah, they only had blue. They had no lemon. There wasn't even any Slurpees there, so I couldn't have done. All right.
Sunless.
What do you reckon out of those 4 names? Or chuck a wild card into the ring.
Yeah, feel free.
Okay, so I was following sort of the same train of thought as Cole at first. I was thinking like personality. So you could go a couple ways, but the pro personality where they're, I think Turbo kind of brings that same Rettles like shit talk that we need more of.
Yeah.
But as far as like emerging onto the scene just from like literally standing on the desk, Rettles is pretty strong for that. But I think I view it the same way as Stumpy, where it's like if I'm thinking of all around personality that's like been an ambassador to the scene as far as the viewing parties and just the coaching analysis, the being involved in lands like BTS, Beyond the Summit. I'll have to go with CJ for personality of the year, I think.
I think BTS as well.
I'm just biased against or towards non-pros. I mean, he's still a pro. Wait, is he on a team and everything?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on Chiefs.
Yeah. But like after he's eliminated or whatever, he's still very involved, or he does a lot of things outside of his, proness. About he's not just a competitor. So I really appreciate that in the scene.
He's
nothing
brilliant.
against
I adore
Speed,
CJ.
Rettles, and Turbo, but I bias towards the people that can prove they can do more than just be really good at Rocket League.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he did such a good job when he was doing the hosting for BTS as well. Like, that is not an easy job to do, and it was his first hosting role.
Exactly.
And he was catching, he was throwing, he was like introducing people. He did a fantastic job. So
and I can't see the other three doing something like that, or actually most pros do stuff like that. You know?
Yeah. All right, so CJ by 2 votes to 1 is our personality of the year. Congratulations, CJ. Woo! Well done. Okay, next category is best YouTuber.
Wow.
SunlessKhan.
Well, this is awkward.
Sunless. Wait, can you do yours again? Because before we started, you did your impression, and Sunless was impressed.
Oh, what, mine?
Yeah. You can actually do impressions.
Oh no, because I forgot what I said now. I think it was a good one-off.
I said
Should
like
we swap
hello
roles?
there.
Shall I do the best YouTuber thing and you do the voices? That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there. Hey, my name's SunlessKhan. How's that? That was good.
My name's
Not
SunlessKhan.
as good as when it was improv.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway,
See, I'm not
Musty
good on
is
the
the next
pressure.
one.
Yeah, Musty.
Sorry.
Musty.
Floomp/flump.
Rizzo.
Matsy.
John Sandman.
Oh, Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy. Oh, Johnny Boy is the other one that could be.
Well, elephant in the room, obviously. Sunless is on this list.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And
He's that guy you are.
I know, yeah, it is that guy. He is. We spoke before the podcast where we were talking about Rocket League YouTube and stuff, and I've said it on stream as well. I really don't watch Rocket League YouTube. The only content I watch is ours and Sunless's. That's like, so
Wow.
everybody's content is in this call right now that I actually pay attention to. I see the occasional like Johnny Boy show match or something
Actually,
like.
you haven't voted me, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I
I didn't put.
You kind of snubbed somebody.
Well, yeah, I didn't put us on there.
No, not us, me.
You?
Where's us? Where's us coming into this?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Where
To be
are
fair, you
guys?
are the unofficially guy. That's
Yeah,
fair.
thank
did
you. I
say
said
that in that
unofficially in the
video I
latest
put
tutorial.
100 hours into. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
You're welcome.
fair
And everybody mentions my bit, so that's fine.
enough. I know.
So, well, I think, for me at least, on this list, my vote goes to, I think, Johnny Boy. Because he has put in work for a long time. Obviously, it's just 2019, but he's put in work for a hell of a long time. And he has almost single-handedly supported the 1v1 scene. He's been doing his entire salt mine. He did the tournament before that, the Manfield 5K. He's done a lot of tournaments in collaborations. Yeah, in collaborations with other companies as well, getting a lot of look into the scene. And there's no other 1v1 tournaments that happen apart from Johnny Boy. He obviously is streaming it as well, so he's sort of like doing the double dip, and it's going very well for him. It's still going well for him for a long time, and I think for me, Johnny Boy has continued to just be one of the best YouTubers for Rocket League, and that's out there at the moment.
I would not disagree, Stumpy, with anything you've just said.
I would not agree with you, Stumpy.
I'm glad that you've mentioned Johnny, because I thought you were going to mention someone else as your vote, and I was going to then throw Johnny in as an honorary mention because he's not going to be my vote. But yeah, he has done fantastic work for Rocket League for so long, and to see him rewarded by being up on the RLCS stage, which we got to hear from days 2 and 3. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Made me very happy. But for me, Sunless, can you just take your headphones out for a second, please? Just so you know, cover your ears. For me, SunlessKhan is without a doubt the greatest Rocket League YouTuber. The consistency of the interesting ideas that he comes up with, the attention to detail, the dedication to his craft, I think is there for all to see. Yeah, for me, it's Mr. SunlessKhan.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. And
That's all right,
I will vote for myself because I want my.
You want the two?
For mine,
I'd love that so much.
If I really just like, yeah, I'm the best. I want to be the best, and actually, you know what? I don't think it's outside of my. I think it's within the realm of possibility for me to vote for myself. I do have.
I fully agree. It is, yeah.
But I actually think the best YouTuber of the year, just because of the last 3 months. If you took
One of
away
the M's
those,
you're gonna say.
I would either vote for myself or Mertzy. But I'm going to say the best YouTuber, it has to go to Musty for what he's done in the last
myself,
3 months.
Mertzy, and Musty.
Oh,
I knew you'd say one of those guys. I know you've been singing their praises a lot.
yeah.
I have to say Musty just from well, I mean, no one has ever done what he's done. Neat Mike, John Sandman, nobody has gained nearly 100K subs in a month. That's just ridiculous.
That's huge.
So I have to say the way he's connected with his audience and just exploded onto this. I mean, he was a known personality for a while, but his content was always pretty good. I always thought people kind of slept on him as far as his. He's got kind of no one else really does the like Zoomer humor like him. You know, like the no offense to Musty's audience, but it's definitely younger than mine.
Dumb idiot children.
Yeah,
and Musty's younger than me. I mean,
school kids, yeah.
Musty's 18, so he's probably the youngest one on this list. He is by far.
18.
He's not even going to, like, he finished high school and became a Rocket League YouTuber. So
Wow.
I love that.
Fair play.
For
Good
Musty
man.
as
Respect to him there.
But I think just the results speak for themselves. So I have to say
Does anyone
Musty.
else feel like the Musty flick has somewhat backfired? Because I hear that name and I think, oh, he's the guy that did that flick. Even to this day, because 2
Yeah.
years ago, that's what he was, and that seems to have stuck in my mind.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
need to remove that thought and look at him with fresh eyes, I think, because
Yeah.
for such a long time, that was what he did and was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For years, and then all of a sudden, the last year, and especially the last few months, he's now he has the most. He's the number one viewed Rocket League YouTuber right now for this month.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
I'm actually close behind. Like what he's done has actually pushed me. So I'm actually pretty close behind him. I think I'm number 2 right now.
I've seen you guys having your race to 1 million.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, and we'll see. Yeah, it is kind of cute. We'll see how that turns out. But
Speaking
the
of
views are
1
the
million,
thing.
John Sandman.
John
Obviously,
Sandman.
recently was the first Rocket League YouTuber to reach 1 million subscribers. And I've not, like I said, I don't watch Rocket League YouTube. I thought, you know what, I'll go to his channel, check it out, see what's going on. I watched that stuff like way early on in the day. But I went and checked it out. And I got sucked into a dopamine-filled hit of crate openings. But I watched about 3 videos.
You did
Like, I just sat
That's
there
amazing.
and just watched them. And I was like, I don't know why this is like really like entertaining me.
Yeah.
There's no reason why. It was like a rat pushing a button. And I was like, more crate. Just
Wow.
do crate.
You were the rat.
Yeah, I was the rat, yeah.
Okay.
But no, I watched like 3 of them. It was great.
I mean, he's like a born entertainer. I mean,
Yes.
If you watch his streams, I think you'll understand John more from watching his streams.
At
At least I
RLCS
have.
Vegas, I accidentally ended up in a group with Athena and John Sandman and a few others. I was
Flex.
totally out of my league. They were gambling. I just chucked like $5 onto the blackjack thing and hoped that no one said, "Who the fuck is this ugly ginger kid?" But they were very nice to me, and it's sort of immediately clear that even among those guys, John Sandman is just the sort of ultra extrovert.
Yeah.
You know, he's the people that people look up to in a group. They say, "Hey, John, where should we go?" I know why, because we went
KBBQ.
to the KBBQ beforehand, yeah, and then later
did.
on.
That's the biggest flex that I
Yeah.
think like we've had so far, where we went for KBBQ with Fruity Ferrer, Johnny Boy, John Sandman, and Phantom Ace, and all of that lot. And then
I
John
really-
Sandman ended up paying for it, like for everybody.
Oh, that was cool.
And we were like,
That's
what
awesome.
it was like a lot of money. He was like, I'll just get it. I was like, what? You're so rich and cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's like a cool cousin. And you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yes.
happy that John Sandman's coming over for New Year's. That sounds good.
or like a
Phantom
cool
Ace
dad.
going off in his like $1 million car.
Oh yeah, and his lovely
having a
Jaguar.
great time. You went in there, didn't you, Sunless? I'm having
Yeah,
all
I
these
did.
memories now when we went to Top Golf.
Yes,
and Phantom
yes.
Ace was there.
Yeah, I got a ride in the Jaguar.
That
pretty sick.
sounded so good. Okay, so who do we give it to for those 3? Should we just like put all 3 there?
Yeah, how do we do that?
Sunsty Boy _I.
Sunsteeboy _I. There we are.
Can I just put up an
that's
honorary
good.
mention, by the way, for Lethamere, who's been making
yeah.
mod after mod. The stuff he makes is incredible. I need to find a way for us to play it ourselves, because as far as I know, to do it, you need a server and coding
It's a whole
and
thing.
intelligence.
It's not
and I've got
hard.
none
It's
of
not
that.
as hard as
Is
it
it not?
looks. But you
We
need
are
someone
idiots,
to guide
though.
you. But if you had someone to guide you, it would take like 15 minutes.
We've got smart people we can ask, so we should definitely give that a go and try
Yeah.
out like the big
It's
pirate
not
ship or
hard,
whatever
especially
they've
these
got.
days. Like you can do it within Bacchus mod. Like you literally just type the IP
Oh.
of someone's whatever, and then you type it and you enter and you go.
not like that.
So it's not
That's
hard.
cool. Okay, well the next category we have is best.
Sorry to try. Are you sure you don't want to do the voices and I'll do this bit and you can do the fun
no,
voices?
no, I
know
want to
you
do
like-
this bit.
You want to do
No,
that bit?
Cole, honestly, I think that you are nailing these accents.
All right, okay, I'll do my best.
Okay.
Why are you doing this to me?
Best streamer.
Fruity.
Squishy.
Jesse.
Good up.
Nice. There we go.
Good.
I got sucked into that one.
Rizzo.
Scrub. How does he say? How do you say scrub in a Scottish accent?
Scrub. My name's Scrub Killer. I'm from Scotland. I like vitality, but not anymore.
For Renault
Johnny
Spot
boy.
Team Vitality. Not anymore.
Nice, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Johnny Boy _ I.
Johnny Boy, he's made a double appearance. Okay, so best streamer. For me, out of these, I'm sort of split for my two.
Oh, you snubbed. Wait, am I allowed to like?
Oh yeah,
interject?
add more in, mate.
I
Yeah,
agree
go
with
for
you.
it.
I think you got to put Flakes in there.
Go for it.
Good shout.
Cool. I shan't be voting for Flakes, but I like that he's in there.
Yeah,
I'm a
he needs to be
fan.
in there.
Okay, so I'm split between two. I'm split between Fruity and K-Dop for my two, because Fruity, for the amount that he has basically been my golden child of a pro that should stream, and is the example of this is why you should stream as a pro, because of how much support it's got, PSG then reciprocity, how much financial security it gave him when obviously the PSG thing fell through and they weren't sure where the next org was going to be,
Yep.
how much of a community he's built up, he's at nearly 1,000 subs, how much more involvement he's getting on social media. It's fantastic. He's done so well with that. And he
it's
is
nothing fancy. That's the other thing.
No,
He
exactly.
literally just streams.
Yeah, he
I
just
mean,
streams, plays
a lot
Rocket
of these
League,
guys are like that.
and he's so naturally like entertaining. He's not like trying to be
Yes.
like stupid and like whatever. Like I know obviously
Yeah.
Jesse's whole
That's
thing
what
is he's
Flakes does.
yeah. Yeah, he's
Flakes-
he's very extroverted.
Crazy
He's just an asshole.
character.
No,
Yeah.
Flakes is just an asshole.
Yeah, he's
He's
the
just mean.
toxic one. But then my example
Yeah.
of that would be
But some people
Jesse
like
as
that.
well. Where it's like
yeah, Jesse. Yeah,
he's dumb, he's stupid, he's fun, he's a fucking idiot, but he's great.
Yeah.
Like he
Right,
fits it
right.
well. And then K-Dop, I saw Greg in yesterday and we were talking about this, where he has basically made the French Rocket League scene happen. Like on Twitch to watch a pro, he is by far and away the biggest French Rocket League streamer. He's one of the biggest French streamers at the moment as well. His community is huge. He's bringing a lot of attention to Vitality in that way. A lot of content's being made around him. His social's growing, his Insta, whatever. Everything's doing really well for him. I think my vote, though, has to go to my golden child that I've said about in previous podcasts of Fruity, because he's shown why pros should stream.
Fruity would be probably second in my list. Like, can I just say that I love Fruity's streams. I love the fact that anyone can come in and say hello, and he'll notice you and he'll say hello
Yeah.
if you're a sub, you're not a sub. He is just open and warm to everyone. He's fantastic at streaming. I hope he carries on for ages. But for me, it's Johnny Boy. So I see the reason I didn't vote for him as a YouTuber is because I feel that YouTube, for me, needs that extra layer of polish, which Johnny Boy has never pretended to be offering. So it's not a dig at him by any means. But where his style does fit perfectly to me is when streaming. So obviously he's not a player, and Johnny Boy has always found an angle. He's found a way to put forth his Rocket League mind. And at the start, it was casting other players, like existing pros, and then it sort of amalgamated into showcasing up-and-comers. As you mentioned earlier on Sunday, he's the only place for 1v1ers to go and have any chance at winning any sort of money. And also what I'd say is that Johnny Boy, at least from what I've seen, has never been lazy. If somebody asks him a question on Rocket League, and his chat does move fast enough that you have to donate to do it, right? So people chuck a fiver and they'll say, Johnny, why do you think Complexity lost all 7 games? He won't just give a bullshit answer. Like, I've seen him answer that sort of question, and he goes into a tremendous amount of detail. To me, Johnny Boy has more Rocket League knowledge than, at least with regards to the players, than anyone else on the planet. And he's not stingy with that knowledge. And I think that's why his people keep sort of watching him day after day. And he would get my vote.
Cool.
This is tough because I almost don't want to create this 3-way tie, but I'm torn between. I just feel so much for Jesse when I watch his streams. He's the one that makes you feel like high level Rocket League players are like not immortal, right?
Yeah.
Just constantly.
God,
fucks
he
up.
is the
It's
man
amazing.
that proves that gods can bleed, because he's just he's just draining of blood.
No one fucks up at a high level like Jesse. It's incredible that he's turned it like it's just incredible the shit that happens to him. I don't even know if half of it's his fault. It's just the shit that happens to him is just beyond a meme at this point. But I do have to agree with everything about Johnny Boy is just like if you have a big tournament or you watch anything related to Rocket League, you're gonna stumble on something from Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
From I mean, even his stuff on YouTube is really his stream. So I have to say Johnny Boy as well, for all the reasons you said. And I think just the maybe one thing you didn't say I could add to is just the ability to cast a game in an interesting way. Like that's its own talent, right? So forget the streaming thing, just the casting alone.
And going into that smoothly, into and out of casting, and then carrying on stream.
It's very conversational casting, which is saying that him and Shogun do really well together. Like at Dreamhack, it was like butter to my ears, where I was just like listening to them just have a chat about Rocket League, but explaining everything, but also going with the roller coaster emotions of the match. It's outstanding. And Johnny Boy is very, very fair. He's a fantastic streamer. So he's our winner. Well done, Johnny.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sunless, can you clap, please? Thank you.
Please clap.
Yeah, please now clap. Okay, the next category is Best Twitter Game (Pro).
Oh.
Turbo Pulsar.
Riddles.
Rizzo.
For me, it's Turbo. His Twitter game is unparalleled. I think Rettles has come in relatively recently, and obviously he's been doing sort of the toxicity in a really, really fun way. Obviously tweeting during series and stuff, but that's normally to do with Rocket League, like sort of fucking about. I think Turbo just posts shit all the time about shit, like just things that don't even need to be on Twitter, like pictures of him as like fucking Thanos or whatever. He's just posting weird stuff, and I love how weird that man is. So, for me, it's Turbo.
I completely agree with you. Turbo Pulsar, he takes the sort of bad guy role in a weird, fun, unique way that I don't think anyone else in esports, let alone Rocket League, could equal. He's just funny and weird and great, and he's my vote.
Cool.
Yep, pretty easy for me. Seeing that list,
the 3 times.
Rizzo has some really good rants. I think Rizzo does really good.
Have good rants.
Like he really speaks I think he speaks the community's mind well from a pro's perspective. Like obviously, probably one of the most important people you could follow if you wanted to follow someone in the scene, from a competitor perspective in the pro scene. But yeah, Turbo, just for the shit talk and the shit post alone, I mean, it's up there. It's
something else. Is Turbo.
And the fact that he's a god at the game really helps. So that, you can talk shit all you want, but and Reddles did win Dreamhack, but that's all he's done so far. So you really take your shit talk to the next level when you literally win world championships year after year after year.
Literally half of all world championships that have ever happened, he's won them, and he's still shit posting.
Yeah, it works better when you combine it with a winner.
Yeah.
Although Reddles has one, not to.
Yeah, I get you.
And Rizzo's won his fair of majors as well.
Yeah.
But it's just not quite the same when you compare it to Turbo.
Okay. So Turbo Pulsar has won Best Twitter Game (Pro). Well done. Sorry, Sunless, can you clap? Thank you. Christ, man. All right, our next category is Best Twitter Game (Non-Pro).
Keemstar!
Wow, added sound effects. Ash Boy,
that's the one.
Crimsic.
And Spuda.
I put this question to our Discord to get some ideas for people. I had to include Keemstar because I'd like to say fuck Keemstar, and I'm just gonna cross him out. So for me, it's got to be to do with for me Ash, Crimsic, Spuda. Ash posts a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff that's hit and miss. There's a load of stuff that I just look at, like, what the fuck he posted that? He moans about Man United loads as well, and it's like, I don't fucking care, but fair play.
They do pop off.
They do.
When the hashtag hits, hashtag MUFC, and all of those cretins get on it, he gets a lot of
But
likes.
every now and then, he just nails something, and it's fucking brilliant. But for me, out of these, it's because it's of the year, it's Spuda. It's Dog Whiff Hat Gang. It's that entire trend that he and Issa just sort of started, and RLCS UG got involved. It was a whole thing. Spuda, Dog with Hat Gang, it has
tons
to be.
Tons of orgs. Like
orgs
legit orgs that aren't even in Rocket League. Like Ninjas and Pajamas. Like
it went huge.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It was crazy how big that went. Yeah, I'd go Spuda as well. The Dog with Hat Gang thing did sort of push it over the top. I placed myself to the side of it. That was like my angle of, hey, if you don't like it, come like on SubPar. But I thought it was fun. Do you know what I mean? I was never against it.
I thought it was
getting
brilliant.
so angry. Like, I loved that. People were like, fuck the dogs, man. I don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah,
Christ,
I
chill.
posted a thing to like get
was
the
great.
likes from people who hated it, and then there's like 3 hours later, I just fucking did it, and I was like, "What have you done that for?" I was like, "Hey, gotcha."
Brilliant.
Yeah. You just got to succumb to the cuteness.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And Spuda's been memeing for like years. He just hasn't
He
had
has.
that. He hasn't like had the following. But yeah, it's easily Spuda for me. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he has a. Do you know he has a parody account? You have to check it out. You have
Does
to
he?
follow this. It's at Rocket League. League spelled incorrectly. 592. Rocket League 592. And it's just called Nintendo. That's the name of it. It's so funny. He actually has 1,000 followers, and it's just great. It's
How
just
do you
like a
spell
brain
league?
dead. Leauge, I think.
592.
Rocket League
Oh yeah,
592.
Nintendo. There he is.
It's incredible.
is.
Just terrible misspellings. Like it's just what it is like the character of a brain dead like 12-year-old Rocket League player, and it's just in the mind.
A Musty fan.
Musty fan, 100%. He talks about his Mustang flicks, and it's just incredible Twitter. So that alone, the fact that he runs that
That's so funny.
as an alter ego.
9 followers, one of them is Fairy Peak. Fairy Peak follows him as well. I'm gonna follow it. There we are.
Yeah, you have to follow it. It's great.
All right. What a
Obviously, he's
world.
only following Spuda.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he's only
okay.
following Spuda.
Well, Spuda
So, yeah,
absolutely nailed that
Spuda
category.
easily
Well done,
wins that.
Spuda.
Yeah.
Polite claps. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, good man. Best. Sorry. Best content brackets org.
Space Station.
Pittsburgh Knights.
Mouse balls.
Don't ever do that again. United for the Madrid recap.
Yeah. So I put them in there just sort of see like what people thought. Like what was their main things they did this year. For me, the best content for an org, Space Station. Like fuck me. Like we were saying about how much effort they put into their Twitter videos. How like dumb. I just love the dumb stuff that's posted. It's not just like sort of cool montages of their players or like an inspirational thing with their League of Legends or whatever. Like it's something stupid because esports is fun and a bit dumb. I love they buy into that. So for me, Space Station Gaming.
I'm glad you said that because I'm going to be honest, I haven't looked at a lot of their stuff that's on Twitter. So I can't vote for them for that reason. So I'm going to go with Mouse Sports instead. Just because of the comms videos throughout the RLCS, the zillions of reverse sweeps that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And also credit to them, it wasn't just the wins. There were a couple of tough weeks for Mouse Sports. It ended with many tough weeks for Mouse Sports.
Mm-hmm.
But even throughout when they were in their golden run, when there was the occasional loss, they didn't shy away from that. And if you look in the comments for those videos, everyone is like, fair play. Putting up a losing video like this is not what most orgs would do. And that's what people want to see. They want to see how their favourite players react when they're losing.
Yeah.
So for me, it's Mouse Sports.
Very fair.
Yeah, I would have probably voted for Mouse before because of the comms videos, but I'm gonna have to go with Space Station as well. Not just because I know this is technically just content, but I think the reason Space Station is able to do what they do is because of the way they are structured. And they don't have this sort of like traditional businessy tier of like director under him, you're under him, you're under him, content director. Like they're all just a team. So like they trust each other because you have to do it fast. Like there's no time for approval on like certain things, right? Like they can react quickly because they trust each other. And Sean trusts his content creator. Sean trusts his Twitter manager. And community, whatever. Like they don't even have titles. They're just like this group of people that just do awesome stuff. So because of that, I have to say Space Station as well.
Space Station win. Well done.
They're just they're one of us, right? They're just a bunch of gamers.
Sorry, Sunless, can you clap, please?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Bottle job of the year.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh
What
yeah,
do you think
shit.
it means?
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
So
Based on
context
wh-
clues. Bottle job, like choke.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Bottle job.
There's no T in bottle job. It's bottle job.
Yeah, bottle job.
Oh,
Bottle job.
bottle job. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a bottle job.
Bottle
All right.
job. Well, yeah, there's no T in the American version either. It's a D.
Bottle
job.
Wow, you really bottled job this one.
You really freaking bottled that job.
That one
Alright.
would actually make sense if someone sort of choked from getting a promotion or something.
Yeah.
You bottled that job.
Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about.
Anyway.
Okay.
Cole, can you do your fucking line?
Did you
Have you said it
your
yet?
line.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
G2.
Reciprocity.
Cloud9.
Eep, mouse esports.
Mouse esports.
Credit to Cole for that.
Um,
content.
So yeah, I think so. I put these teams in there. Reciprocity are in there, not because they had a bad season, but mainly because
Reciprocity.
it was the final choke. It wasn't they choked the
Yeah.
entire thing. It's the fact that they did so fucking well in EU League play, looking to be
Yeah.
grand final worthy, and then
Number
they
one seed.
didn't make it to day 3. Like they lost. They lost one
Space
series to Space Station. Yeah. They lost one and then lost. Like it was just a terrible land for them.
Yeah.
But would they be the bottle job of the year when compared to G2 and Cloud9? Because ultimately they stayed up. They're all in the same position. None of these teams got relegated, really.
Yeah.
I think for me, it would have to go to Reciprocity because they had such heights to fall from that like they did so well and then they just sort of fucked it at the last hurdle. Like they did way worse than they ever anticipated. But at the same time, G2 and Cloud9, like Jesus Christ, what the fuck went on there? So mine's going to Reciprocity, but it's a tough one between the top 3 of them.
You talk about climbing mountains and then falling. I mean, semifinalists, in the grand finals of RLCS, and then you have to play in the relegation tournament to stay in RLCS. Like that's a
it's gigantic.
That's a
I mean,
big
honestly, I
drop.
think it could go to any 3 of them. To be honest, I wouldn't begrudge anybody for voting for any of them.
I think I would go with. Actually, I think I would go. Oh, that is really tough. I don't know. What would you say, Cole?
I'm astounded that you guys seem to have put the true winners in 4th. Mouse Sports, the biggest bottle jobs of the year. They have to win 1 series out of 4 to make RLCS LAN after getting 2 reverse sweeps. They're putting out these brilliant YouTube videos of, you know, fucking Nethermid saying, come on, boys, we can do this. And they're making these reverse sweeps. And like, everyone's like, yeah, they're going to do it. And then they lose their penultimate game in the RLCS League play. They lose their final game in RLCS League play. They lose their first best of 7 in the playoffs and net 4-0. And then they lose 4-2 to Dignitas, who'd already had to win a best of 7 series just to be there.
And they
3-0'd
reverse
earlier
sweeped.
on in the season.
Yeah.
And they lost that too. Mouse Sports
Yeah.
is the true answer here. I'm shocked. I'm horrified that you didn't mention them once. Eep, Mouse Sports.
So it's not a good. You're trying to like rep them. We're like, yeah, you know, Mouse Sports deserve this one. It's not a nice
Imagine
award.
Speed listening to this, not quite getting what's going on. Go, yeah, Cole, it was us. Woo, well, what a win.
Yeah, Speed, if you're listening, we're saying
Yeah.
that you fucked it the most.
But you won something, possibly.
Yeah. Maybe they'll bottle this too.
That is
depending
tough
on
because I see what you mean. 'Cause I think if I just learned the word bottle job.
Good for you, man.
And I think originally I thought G2 if we're talking about falling heights. But then when I think about it, Cole, I think you persuaded me because when you think about it, what is a true bottle job? You can explain G2 and C9's fall.
Yeah.
Because it's just a league play. It's just a tough league play. There's only 7 games. There's only 7 series, right? Or 8? 7. There's only 7 series. And a lot of them were, I mean, they weren't, it's not like they were getting swept every series. Like, they just lost series after series to hungry, quality teams. So if you think about that, if we're talking about, fumbling at the last second, then, which I think is a key characteristic of a bottle job, then
You learned the word about 5 minutes ago.
What is a true bottle job?
As an expert on bottle jobs, I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, Cole has 100% persuaded me. I wouldn't
very
have said
fair.
this if
You know
Cole
what?
hadn't
Fuck
given his
it.
Speech. I didn't
3-0.
realize they fucked it up that. I didn't realize they fucked it up that bad at the end.
Yeah. I've moved
honestly,
over.
I didn't even know about this. How close
I
they
respect
were.
that.
So yeah, I'll go with Mouse because that is a true bottle job. Although G2 to C9, that's a pretty big fall, and Reciprocity, all of them. Definitely.
I've
fell from glory.
I've also moved my vote to Mouse Sports because I've been inspired by
Wow,
both of
3-0.
you. I also don't want to be left out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Mouse Sports win that 3-0, unlike a lot of their series. Okay, let's move.
Guys,
Go on.
we're really gonna have to be speedy. We are. Look how many
But
more
it's
we've
so
got. Unless we
fun.
just get. Well, let's just get rid of.
Okay, get rid of some.
Get rid of Liquipedia.
Okay.
Sorry,
let's,
It's a
Lucas.
good
what,
joke.
what about best
For the
fashion
listeners
sense?
at home, Liquipedia contributor of the year, and it's just one person because that's the joke.
Yeah.
because
Okay,
it's
all right. So
just
that's quick.
Lucas.
Okay, fair enough. That was nice and speedy. Maybe get rid of best coach.
Okay, fuck
It'd just
you.
be us like going, oh, Gregor was there, and
The
Verge
answer
was
is
there,
Verge.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Player of the week. Would you be okay with that one going? It would just be you ranting about.
I only
Monaco
had
again.
2, so yeah, I just like the name of it. I
It
want
is
to
funny.
keep it for the
Player of
name,
the
and we'll
week
just do
of
it
the
quickly.
year.
Okay, let's get rid of best fashion sense.
You're not editing this in. You're not editing this out, Cole. By the way, this is all going in.
Fuck's sake.
This is all going in, baby.
Can I get rid of best fashion sense?
Yeah, it's gone.
Team of the year. Who cares? Player of the
Okay.
year. Fuck it.
Okay.
Best
and
new team. That's boring.
what do you mean that's boring?
We've got so many. We've got about 18 more.
Okay, but right, well we can just skip through them. It's fine.
All right, we're gonna skip because we're all bad at talking too much.
Okay.
So we're gonna skip.
Yeah.
You guys are
Right.
promising. You're
Well,
looking me in
you're
the
wasting
eyes.
more time because it's not being
Oh.
cut out.
All
Okay.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Our next category is Cole. You're not editing that last bit out.
Just like-
Moment
I'm not touching
of the year.
Scrub 0-second goal. RLCS 7.
NRG winning RLCS Season 8.
Vitality versus Fitness OT.
Peeps winning DH Montreal.
I think we've had some really fucking good moments this year.
Yeah.
I think out of them, the weakest one is Scrub's 0-second goal. So it was really cool. It was a really cool like bit. But end of the
Good
day, 0-second goal.
It was like a It was
Yeah,
like an
it's a
open
good
net, too.
contender,
It was-
but it's not a winner. I
Right.
think for me, it's between NRG winning RLCS 8 and the Vitality, Dignitas OT, and Peeps. Shit, it's between 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have one set in stone that you know you're going to do?
I would have said Vitality versus Dignitas if Vitality had come back and beat Dignitas, but Dignitas did hold out, or no, the other way around.
Yeah,
Dignitas
yeah.
had
It was
come
in the
back
next
and beat
year.
Vitality, because that would have been a true underdog, but it ended up, it was just really tense. It was a, moment of the year close, but
Yeah.
I have to say, NRG winning RLCS just because of the Garrett story stuff. So that's my vote.
That gets my vote as well. NRG winning it for me. I think it's
Okay.
so long in the making. Everyone was rooting for them. Even in Europe, we were rooting for NRG. Sorry, Greg.
Right.
Vitality gets my vote.
All right. Wait, Cole. You said Vitality gets your vote. So.
No, NRG. So what I was saying was that
NRG
in that
beat
grand
Vitality.
finals, we were rooting for NRG
Yeah, okay.
to beat Vitality.
Um,
So it's NRG.
I think because if I wasn't in Madrid, I would have voted NRG winning. But because I was in Madrid, that appreciation from the crowd about the Vitality Dignitas OT,
That was
like
lovely.
being in there and just clapping, like those saves and like everything that was
Yeah,
happening. It was
that
one
was
of the best
incredible.
OTs ever, if not the best OT ever. So I think my vote goes there. But NRG winning RLCS 8, very, very happy to see that win anyway.
Yeah.
I
think in person, I would totally agree with you. If this is just like
Yeah.
in person moments, then that was a special thing
Yeah,
that
it was
no
amazing.
one had seen before.
All right, our next category is Liquipedia Contributor of the Year.
Lucas.
Lukash.
Sorry.
Yep, that's
I
it.
jumped again.
That's the category. That's it. Lukash wins. He gets it. Well done, Lukash. Fucking.
First to clap there. Big fan of Lukash is Sunless.
Ah.
Of all these people,
I am a big- I'm
Lukash,
a
if
big
you're listening to
fan.
this, you're the first person that Sunless has voluntarily applauded.
A lot of videos would not have been possible without that man. So yeah.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, unbelievable. Thank you, Lukash, for being just so fucking good at volunteering and being amazing. This has only been kept in because I really like the name of it. Player of the Week of the Year.
Ronicky.
How do you even say
Niels
Niels
Cook.
Cook?
Niels
Cook.
There you go, you nailed it.
Niels Cook.
I think, for me, it goes to Niels Cook. For the one thing that Sony said to me in Discord, where he put out a tweet longer saying why he was off Veloce, and he said, good luck, you'll need it, to them. And it's like, that statement cannot come back to you in any good way. If they fuck it, you look like a dick. And if they do really well, you look like a dick. And if they do okay, you look like a dick. So I think for me, it's Niels Cook gets Player of the Week of the Year.
That's pretty
I'm going to go
good.
with Ronicky because he actually got Player of the Week twice. And
No, his
April
USB
Niels
cable won
Cook's-
at one time.
Oh, well, did it not? Was it
No.
not him twice then? In that case, fuck it. Fuck you, Niels Cook.
I'll say Niels Cook because I think that's pretty funny. When I love when shit talk backfires. It's hilarious.
yeah.
That's very fair. Okay. Well done, Niels Cook. Good lad. This is like the worst award ceremony ever. Okay. All right. Next category. Best Pro Family Member.
Rattle's dad. Rattle's dad. Rattle's dad.
Torment's mum
Gyro's sister.
and Justin's dad. Oh, it's sorry.
Tadpole's sister.
I am gonna say, because she loves the podcast, and because she listens to it, and she always DMs me about stuff we're talking about, and she came up to us in Madrid, and she is absolutely lovely. Torment's mum is my favourite pro family member because she is just supportive of everything that she likes. If it's her son, if it's content that she's enjoying, she always makes sure that whoever has done a good job knows that they have done a good job. And it's something that I think a lot of people should learn from, where you really appreciate the effort somebody's gone to make a thing, and it's like, hey, I enjoyed that thing. Well done. So yeah, mine goes to Torment's mum.
She's also a patron on here.
She is.
Torment's mum is my vote. She's fantastic, and pretty much the reasons you said. I can't really add anything else to there. She was a pleasure to meet in real life. Want to say a shout out though for Rettel's dad, who in Madrid was handing out PK and stickers and
got them.
Little things. You've got one next to you right there, little signs. So a special shout out for Rettel's dad, but Torment's mum wins this one for me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to... Torment's mom is not a patron, and she's not a supporter of my podcast. She doesn't exist. So I'll have to say Rettel's dad, because I really appreciated his amping up the crowd.
Because he is a patron.
It showed how effective it was just to throw out free shit. Like, he just gained all these fans.
Yeah, he's amazing. I like how whenever we were chanting Rettel's dad, he was always like pointing to the stage, like, no, my son.
Yeah.
Chant for him instead. We were there going, Rettel's dad.
That's not how British crowds work, mate, but we'll do our best for you,
you can't guide
Once we've
us.
decided that Rettel's dad is funnier, we'll stick with Rettel's dad.
Next category is Team of the Year.
Vitality.
NRG.
Reciprocity.
Dig. Nitaz.
Nice.
Rettel's dad. AKA Pittsburgh Knights.
For me, it is Vitality, because they had a first place finish and a second place finish, only lacking by 1 goal. They came very close to being in the fucking relegation tournament, because the RLCS system right now isn't good.
3rd or 7th based on 1 goal,
lol. But I think, if you're looking just at the final results, Vitality have had one of the strongest years in Rocket League. They've had an incredibly dominant run. They've always been like a scary team to look at when they're on form. They've had their issues. They've had ups and downs. But ultimately, they came first and they came second. Like, that's an unbelievable record. So Vitality, for me, are Team of the Year.
For me, it's Vitality, because any team that kicks Scrub Killer after finishing first and then second in his first 2 seasons at Worlds is surely worth a vote.
Yeah, fuck Scrub.
I would have said Vitality, but I'm actually mad about that move. I think it's stupid as hell. And I mean, whatever, you want to be all French, but it's not a good look, in my opinion. It's not a good look. Like, we just want to be all French. Okay,
fucking wee, am I right? Dickhead.
Hey.
It's just like, yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I have to say NRG, probably because recency bias.
That's
but
fair,
they did win BTS. Not a crazy like flex of a major. If you're gonna flex a major, probably not the one. I mean, it's definitely a legit LAN, but it's not quite the same without the live audience. So, but you know, whatever. They still have 2 LANs, which Vitality doesn't, right? Yeah, they just have the one. Or did they win another
No,
one?
Vitality
they
won
won.
the Gfinity Elite Series, mate, over in the UK.
Did they really?
Weird little
And they
bubble
won
tournament. Yeah, Vitality
in
won that with
2019?
Pashi. Oh,
When?
sorry. Okay, right. My bad. I was overly
Yeah.
aggressive.
They won a
there.
Dreamhack,
the Elite
didn't they?
Series.
No, I don't think they did.
Or did they come second to Dig?
Reciprocity won one. Or it was PSG at the time.
Yeah. Dignitas?
Peeps won one. Dignitas won one. And Cloud9 won one. Those are the 4
Oh,
Dreamhack.
that was it. Oh, fair enough. Fair. Okay.
There was no Elite Series in
BTS,
2019. You reminded me of that now. Cheers, Sunless.
Yeah, I can't think of any other lane.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Who won ESL? Was there an ESL?
ESL? I don't know. It was an
There's
ESL.
no
Not
ESL
ESL.
anymore,
Sorry,
not
not
since, like,
ESL.
2017.
Not ESL. I meant. I didn't mean ESL. I meant.
Did they win any Gfinity weeklies? Do we know? Did they sort of do well on that? Any MLG tournaments going
How
on?
about
that they
League of
won?
Rockets?
Shut up.
Did they win
Yeah.
I'm
that?
talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh no,
Who's
no, they won Rocket Royale, didn't they?
Oh.
Yeah,
No, didn't
that-
they do really well in the special, the mid-season mayhem?
Yes, they did. Yeah, the big 2019 win.
PC Needs Love tournament hosted by Cloudfield. Did they win that one?
They didn't actually know that was won by Cloud9. You're desperately googling to make sure.
I have to find out. Wasn't there an Wait, did you just answer? Is that what you said? Was there an E-League in 2019?
There was
I don't think so.
WSOE, but they didn't win that.
Oh, WSE was
That was Flipside.
flip side.
Lol.
There wasn't
yes.
there wasn't an E-League. What the? Yeah, it was Weedham Girls won the last one.
Yeah, that was in November, wasn't it? Or something?
It's because there were 4 Dreamhacks. And
Yeah,
WLC,
Pedia.
they just didn't do it.
Anyway. Okay, right. Next question we're going to is going to be Tournament of the Year.
RLCS 7 in New
E-League.
Jersey.
RLCS 8 in Madrid.
What do people from Montreal sound like? Is that the French one? That's Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreamhack Pro Circuit, Montreal.
Montreal is in Quebec. Okay, beyond the
is
summit.
it? Oh, no,
Yeah,
wait.
it's the capital of Quebec.
Montreal.
Thank you.
There you go. And then beyond the summit.
Tournament of the Year. I don't really know what we're going to be basing this on. Like,
Best.
the
The best.
But
the best one.
Yeah, like most hype, like closest games.
for that,
Your-
for
Best
me,
for Rocket
if we're
League.
going with if we're going for best Rocket League that was present at the tournament, has to be RLCS 8 Madrid.
Yeah, and that's not recency bias. Like,
No, that like even looking
objectively
back,
better.
Montreal obviously had Peeps win. That's why they're in this. But on the summit was great for other reasons. Honestly, they might not have even had a Rocket League tournament going on. I wouldn't have cared. It was still brilliant. And New Jersey, it was fun to watch from home, but I never felt like I wanted to be there. RLCS 8 Madrid had everything that makes a good LAN. It is such a close second to London. It was unreal.
Yeah.
It was an incredible experience. The gameplay was some of the best we've ever seen, if not the best we've ever seen. NRG finally won. I don't see how anything can top it.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm with you as well, to be honest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well done, Madrid.
The only thing shaky was the venue, and that was kind of sorted out. But I mean,
The fact it was that good, even considering the venue, right? Like,
yeah.
It was despite the venue. rather than
yeah.
because of it.
Okay. Next category is Caster of the Year.
Jorby!
Sure.
Why did that sound so Scottish? That meant to sound like an
Yeah, it
American
did.
going mental.
It did.
Jorby!
Nice.
Is that better?
That's good.
Wave
Okay.
Punk.
Corelli.
Johnny Boy.
He's like sort of a nerdy voice. These are my honorary mentions at the end.
Underrated. The Eternal J.
An honorary mention. Shogun, hardly casted lol.
Yeah, I feel like people would be annoyed if we didn't mention Shogun, but I don't think he'll win Caster of the Year because he barely fucking casted.
I'm sorry, Chief.
But he's still
I
really
genuinely love
good.
the Chiefs.
He's still a good caster.
Yeah.
And underrated, the Eternal J. Do you know about the Eternal J, Sunless?
It's yeah. I've like encountered him on Twitter.
He is.
Whatever that means.
You've DM'd.
The name is familiar.
No, he is.
Sure, but I
He's
haven't talked to him.
one of the best casters in Europe, but he's just not done anything at like a high level. And I absolutely love him. His casting is fantastic. He does CS:GO as well, so he's got that pacing down like incredibly well. So underrated person is the Eternal J for me. But caster of the year, Jorby, Wavepunk, Credit, Johnny, or Achieves. For me, it is Jorby. If we're going just based on 2019, he has had an unbelievable breakout year. He's had the RLCSs. He's got the hype that I don't think any others really bring. It's him and Wavepunk are my two favourite casters in RLCS. I love them both. He has got incredible diction even when he's being really loud and like bodacious and exciting. He is, yeah, he can get his thoughts across really well. He can also have really dumb moments, but he doesn't like get like sort of weird and embarrassed by them, tries to like cover it up. He's like, oh, I messed that up, and just sort of moves on. He's a fantastic caster. He's an incredible analyst, and he is my caster of the year.
For me, it's going to be Wavepunk, I think. I just like his style. You know when you just sort of attach to someone and connect with them and the stuff they put out. For me, that's Wavepunk. The first time I heard his voice, I liked him. Obviously, the first time I met him, he's just fantastic to chat to. But I've tried to separate that, of course. You know, it's not a personal thing. I think that my favourite NA duo is him and Achieves. I think they bounce off each other so well. The sort of role
really
that Achieves
do.
plays. I did the nerdy voice, but that is Achieves' thing. He's a sort of
Yes.
the stats geek. Do you know what I mean? That's his thing.
Yeah,
that
that's
he
his
brings to the
shtick.
table. And I think with Wavepunk, it works so well as a duo. But obviously, Wavepunk
really
is
does.
the leader in that duo, and he gets my vote.
Very fair.
Well, I'm not going to double up on any of those because I have to say, just for a couple iconic casts, it's not on here, but I have to say James Bot for So if you have to put it on, sorry.
No, that's right. No, whack James
Breaking the
Bond
rules.
there. Hang on.
Either Shogun or James
Okay.
Bot, because I think it's
Oh.
the combination of Shogun and James Bot. Because I think, wow, 2 James Bot.
Which one gets your vote though, top or bottom?
I'll go bottom James Bot.
Hey, that's mine.
Ah,
Get fucked, top James Bond.
But,
things we all wish
yeah,
we could say.
his,
I'll go bottom, James Bond.
His call of the 0-second scrub goal and his calls in Game 7 of the RLCS Season 8 final, I think were incredible. I had to go back and watch it because I couldn't hear it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once I did, I was like, this is almost as good as being there. Like, it was incredible. It was Shogun and James Bot at the final.
Yeah.
And they were a great duo. So I'll put Shogun and James Bot
Jave
too, but whatever.
Bot, Punk, Jaw,
JJ Punk. That sounds cool.
JJ Punk. It does sound
JJ
really
Punk.
cool. Nice.
JJ Punk.
Oh, I
This
see.
is
It's
a
even with
wrestler.
J.J. Punk as well.
Yeah,
like,
JJ
it's like
Punk.
an old-timey writer.
Well done, lads. Okay, well done to those. Well, that's the end of our awards ceremony. God, that was good. And that was a lot of things we got through. We had to get rid of a load as
Yeah.
well. And we
I
have a
think we made all the right decisions.
yeah. Are we happy? Are we happy to send them off to the committee so they can get their awards
Absolutely.
created for them?
Yes.
Democracy has spoken.
Yep. Cool, good stuff. Well done to everybody who has won one of our prizes, which is just sort of pride, I suppose. And
a
we
tweet
have
from the
got
SubPar Twitter account.
just a few Twitter questions. Where unfortunately I have to cut a load down. We're sorry, everybody, but we talk bollocks a lot when we're together. So we've been recording for an hour and 20 minutes so far. So we have 4 questions for you, Mr. SunlessKhan. You ready to quick fire through them?
I'm ready. Let's do
Good
it.
man. Okay. First question is from Fisho Kid. What does karn mean?
It has absolutely no meaning. It just sounds cool.
Nothing
With
at all.
Sunless. No meaning. It's just
Did
a
you got one of those
randomly,
generators?
generated name. Yep.
It is a generator.
It's a really cool
generator
generated name.
name.
It's not like Wandering Ostrich.
No, it's not truly a generated name because I did customize it. I don't remember what it originally was. It was like, I think the word sunless was auto-generated, and then I thought of Khan because it sounded like Genghis. It kind of rolls off the tongue, even though I don't, I don't care about Genghis Khan.
That's right.
That's the
Genghis
quote for the
Khan.
podcast episode.
Not a Genghis
I don't
Khan
care about
fanboy.
Genghis Khan.
But it sounds like that. I think it's like a play on that, almost like Sunless Khan. It sounds kind of like it, so it doesn't have any meaning. It's just a cool
Okay.
name.
What do you think about the Rocket League community and what it does well and what it does badly from @BrindleRL?
I love the passion for the game that the Rocket League community has that I don't feel like other games, at least from my understanding, quite have. Like, I think people just kind of go through. It's weird. Like, I think like even Fortnite fans, they love Fortnite, but they don't. They just do it because it's what you do.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. The same thing with like CS:GO. Like they get in a friend group. This is a weird perception I have.
Go on.
It's probably wrong, but I feel like they just play it because it's just what everyone does, or because it's popular or whatever. Where I don't think Rocket League has that. I think the Rocket League community loves the game that they play. I think more than any other fan base. And I'm obviously, this is from the inside of the community, so I'm completely biased, probably wrong, but that's what I've perceived just from being in the gaming world for a couple of years. I don't think other communities have that. So that's what it does well, is it truly actually likes its game. Not
Okay.
just loves it, it actually likes the game
Yeah.
more than most. And is addicted to the game more than most, I think. But that could be wrong. Anyway, what it does badly, I think the Rocket League community has a terrible sense of humor. I think its love
Is
for
that why
the
no one
game
watches our videos?
clouds.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
I think the love for the game clouds its ability to laugh at itself. Like, I think it's too 90% of the not 90, whatever. I think a good chunk of the community takes itself too seriously. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Like,
Okay.
it's a trade-off, right? You get this love for the game, but then you have this like army of tryhards that don't know how to like appreciate sucking at Rocket League.
Yeah.
And there's definitely an audience that does, because otherwise my channel wouldn't
Yeah.
exist.
While you suck
But I
at
think
Rocket League.
I'm so bitter at people that can only I don't know. I understand it, but like,
Do you
there's
think it's
just
people
so
being
many
too
goddamn
protective of
tryhards.
the game? Because it's
Yeah,
not a AAA title.
Sure. No, I think it's just an attitude of just like tryhardiness. Like, it's just this like weird. I think there's this weird.
Is it macho?
Yeah,
I'm the
maybe
best,
not
you're the
macho.
worst.
Yeah, I think it's more just like just inability to understand that and accept that most people are terrible at the game, and that's just how it is, and just embracing that like for fun nature. I think I just think there's too many tryhards. I don't know.
Do you think it's unwelcoming to a casual player base in that regard?
Yes. Yeah. Unwelcome. Yes.
Right.
Unwelcoming. I think the competitive scene is unwelcoming. The most people that are on Twitter are people that have played for a while, and I think just not just some weird like stuck up. That's what I'd say. It's stuck up. I think the Rocket community is stuck up snobs about the game, and I'm part of that for sure. But I think that goes hand in hand with loving the game so much. So I think that's like part of the
idolizing it rather than loving it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I just say that I would watch a 12-minute video of you addressing the camera and just dressing down the Rocket League community like a post-mortem. You got a guy with like an octane for a head, and he walks in and he sits down and you say, "Look, we've got to talk about your performance this year, Rocket League community."
And then he goes, dum dum, and that's like a title card.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can't wait to see that video.
Add it to the list.
Go.
What is your proudest achievement in your YouTube career so far? From @Daiquiri. And feel free to, but also feel free not to, having that idea, which is a great idea, which you should definitely do.
Message received. The proudest achievement easily is just being able to do it full time and have it as a career. That's it. Just being able to make it is my proudest achievement by far. So leaving my job and starting Rocket League full time and not being good at the game is my proudest achievement. Being able to have a career and not being good, I think, is fucking hilarious. And that's just like a huge middle finger to like the tryhards in Rocket League, where it's like, thousands of you are better than me, but I'm the only one out of all of you guys. You guys are still doing a day job. Like I'm saying to those tryhards.
God, you really
I'm
fucking
terrible.
hate these
tryhards.
tryhards.
Here I am, bitch.
God, can you
What?
calm down? He's crying now. What the fuck? What's happening? You're shaking.
He's actually got a tryhard next to him. He's punching him. He's got a knife. Sunless, stop
Put it
it.
down. Die. Okay.
So that's my proudest achievement.
Final question. Can you please carry us back to YouTube prominence? Please. From @EmilCole93.
Big fan.
I guess that technically is a question, isn't it? Can you? Yeah, you're asking if it's possible for me to carry you back to YouTube prominence.
Yeah.
Not like theoretically possible, but actually,
But can you actually,
done.
like, please?
it's not theoretical.
No.
Yeah, no, it's sorry, it's quite a serious
Pleading.
sort of. It's more of a statement. So if you could, please.
I can't carry you back to YouTube prominence, but I can carry you.
It's like Lord of the Rings reference. Oh, what a reference!
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I watched all three of them the other
love
day
Lord of
with
the
my girlfriend. It was lovely. We woke up in the morning and she
Yep.
said, "Do you want to just watch all the Lord of the Rings today?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do."
I love you.
Yeah.
Wifer.
Yeah. So we went in the living room and just monged out for it's like 12 and a half hours. I was just
That's
sitting there just
impressive.
watching it, but it's incredible. They're so good.
Yeah, it really is. So I had to get the Samwise reference in there.
I like it.
But,
Good man.
No,
Well-
I can help you, but I can't carry you.
Okay.
Deal.
Good deal. Happy with that. Thank you for carrying us. SunlessKhan, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of the Poddy C. Very, very lucky to have you. Very, very lucky
Sunless,
to
do you have a
you as
son?
friend.
I do not have a son. I have
have a
a
dog?
That's it. Yes.
Okay. Sky.
Well, if you ever have a son, will you
Yes.
will you change your name?
Will I change my name?
What does son
Because
have?
you
So I
would
can
be
just be
alive.
Khan.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh no, it would be
Absolutely
Son
not.
Khan. And people say, "What can
It's also-
what can your son do?"
I'm not SON-less Khan. I'm SUN-less Khan.
Okay, well, if
No,
you
I
gain
will
a
change
massive
my name
star,
if I get a tan.
like, can you, then you've got a son at that point. Would you consider
No.
changing?
Jesus Christ. We've been
Never.
talking too long.
Never.
Okay, Sunless, thank you,
Never.
mate, for joining us. Appreciate you. Love you.
Thanks for having me.
Have a good 2020.
You too.
Thanks,
We
man.
will.
We
Keep
will.
smashing it, mate.
Yeah. Everybody, you're all gonna know SunlessKhan. There's no point plugging him. But just fucking go on YouTube, type in SunlessKhan, and look at what I would actually go ahead and say is in the top 2 of the best Rocket League YouTube channels on YouTube. Fantastic stuff. Go and give it a
Thank
watch. Otherwise, listen back to all of our other podcasts. We chatted to fucking Rizzo. We chatted to Garrett G last week. Not 2
After he
weeks ago
won.
now.
His
Literally
hands are
after
still
he
shaking.
won. Yeah, mental. So go back and listen to the Garrett G episode. It's our most listened to episode of the Poddy C. It's got
Nice.
over, I think that individual episode has over 5,000 listens, which is very nice. For a podcast, that is lovely for us. So thank you, everybody.
Very nice.
And otherwise, we'll see you in the next episode of the Poddy C. Make sure to follow us on your respective platform and all that. All right, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.